Before you were 7 years old, someone who loved you handed you a set of rules about money. They did not mean to limit you. They thought they were protecting you. They were passing on what they themselves had been taught. But 5 of those rules, 5 sentences you probably heard so many times you stopped questioning them, have been quietly running your financial life every single day since. Today, we name them, we expose them, and we replace them with the truth that the wealthy figured out, and almost nobody else was told. Here is why these beliefs are so dangerous. They do not feel like lies. They feel like wisdom. They sound like someone who cared about you speaking from experience. And that is exactly what makes them so hard to question, because questioning them feels like betraying the people who taught them to you. But the truth is this: the people who loved you taught you what they knew, and what they knew was handed to them by someone who was equally well-meaning and equally limited by what they had been told. This is not about blame. This is about seeing clearly, perhaps for the first time. 5 lies. Let us begin. Lie 1. Money doesn't grow on trees. You heard this one the moment you wanted something that felt out of reach. Money does not grow on trees, meaning it is scarce, it is finite. There is only so much, and most of it is not yours. This single sentence trained millions of minds to treat money as something that disappears, rather than something that multiplies. The truth: money does not grow on trees, but it does grow on investment, on patience, on compounding. Rockefeller did not find money on trees. He planted seeds in businesses, in people, in systems, and he waited for them to grow. The wealthy do not find money, they grow it, and growth requires a completely different relationship with money than scarcity ever allows. Lie 2. Rich people are greedy. This one is insidious because it does not just tell you what rich people are, it tells you what you must not become. If wealth equals greed, then every time you move toward wealth, you move toward becoming someone bad. And so the subconscious mind does what any healthy mind does. It protects you from becoming that person. It sabotages the promotion. It avoids the investment. It keeps you safe from ever becoming what you actually want to be. The truth, the most consistent finding across studies of the ultra-wealthy, is that the most generously giving people in history were also the wealthiest. Carnegie built 2,509 public libraries. Rockefeller gave away half his fortune while still alive. Buffett pledged 99% of his wealth to charity. Generosity and wealth do not conflict. Generosity and wealth compound each other. Lie 3. Save every penny you earn. This one sounds responsible. It sounds like exactly the right advice. And it is, partially. But saving, without investing, is not building wealth. It is preserving poverty at a slightly slower rate. Inflation quietly eats savings year by year. The money sitting in your account loses purchasing power while you believe you are being careful. Saving alone is the illusion of financial safety, not the reality of it. The truth: save, yes, always save, but save with intention and deploy with courage. Every wealthy person in history understood one thing: money must be put to work. A seed buried in a jar never becomes a tree. A seed planted in soil, with patience and the right conditions, becomes something that feeds generations. We are halfway through, and if you are nodding along, recognizing these beliefs in yourself or your family, I want you to do one thing right now. Hit subscribe, because lies 4 and 5 are the ones almost nobody talks about. And they are, by far, the most expensive ones. Also, if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them right now. Before we continue. Alright, lie number 4. Money can't buy happiness. This is the most philosophically dressed lie of the 5. It sounds deep, it sounds spiritual. It is repeated by people who have very little money and by people who have enormous amounts. But here is what it quietly teaches. Wanting money is shallow. Pursuing wealth is spiritually inferior. The truly enlightened person rises above the desire for financial security And so, you feel guilty for wanting more. You feel ashamed of ambition. You perform contentment while quietly suffering. The truth? Research from Princeton University found that emotional well-being rises significantly with income up to a level of comfortable financial security. Money does not buy happiness, but financial security buys freedom from the things that destroy happiness: stress, helplessness, fear. Peace of mind is not shallow. The ability to care for the people you love is not shallow. Freedom from financial terror is the foundation on which a happy life is built. Lie 5. You have to work hard to be rich. This is the most dangerous lie of all, because it is mostly true, and that makes the lie inside it almost impossible to see. Yes, discipline matters. Yes, effort matters. But the version of this belief that most people carry says something more specific: that the harder you personally work, the wealthier you become. That wealth is a direct reward for personal effort. And this belief keeps millions of people trading time for money their entire lives, working harder and harder at the wrong game. The truth: there is only so much harder you can personally work. The wealthy understood something different, that leverage multiplies effort. You do not get rich by working more hours. You get rich by building systems, skills, and assets that work while you sleep. Rockefeller did not refine oil himself. He built the system that refined it. Carnegie did not make steel himself. He built the people and processes that made it. The shift is not from lazy to hardworking. The shift is from effort-based to leverage-based thinking. 5 lies, 5 sentences that felt like care, but carried a cost that compounded silently through every financial decision you have made since childhood. Here is what I want you to remember. The people who taught you these things loved you. They were not wrong to love you. They were simply limited by what they themselves had been told. Now you know something different, and knowing is where the change begins. Here is your challenge this week. Pick one of these 5 lies that you still carry. Just one. Write it down. Write the truth beside it. Read it every morning for 7 days. And in the comments below, tell me, which of these 5 lies hits closest to home for you? Which one did you hear the most growing up? I read every comment on this channel, and your answer matters because it helps me make the next video even more useful for you. If this video opened something in you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. A parent, a sibling, a friend. One share from you could change how they see money for the rest of their life. And if you are not subscribed yet, every video we make here does one thing. It gives your mind the tools your childhood did not. Subscribe so you never miss one. I will see you in the next one.